nakikita at audible si Sir? Malinaw sa inyo? Very good. Okay. Again, our topic is about the reproductive system. Okay, so there are two main functions of our reproductive system. Number one is the production and maturation of gametes. Now, as we all know, the process of gametogenesis, specifically the spermatogenesis and oogenesis, occurs within our reproductive organ. No? So that we can produce these gametes are also called as your reproductive cells or sex cells, such as the sperm for males and the egg cell for females. Okay, so we also know that these gametes are used for the sole purpose of reproduction, no, in order for humans to reproduce, di ba, another humans. Okay? And specifically, di ba, the gametes are produced within the reproductive organs such as the testes for males and the ovaries for females. Right? Of course, with the help of the hormones, no, that would trigger or initiate, no, the production of our gametes through the process of meiosis na napag-usapan naman natin ng Bio 1. Okay? Second, no, secretion of our sex hormones. The primary sex hormones for males are the testosterone, then the estrogen and progesterone is for females. No, last time we have discussed on the endocrine system that it is the there are hormones rather responsible in producing, no, the sex hormones. Like for example, di ba, we have the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone that brings the Graafian follicle to maturation in order to produce the ovum during ovulation, whereas the so that once it is produced, so it also triggers the production of estrogen and your progesterone, whereas the interstitial cell stimulating hormone, di ba, stimulates the interstitial cell in the testis to produce testosterone. Okay, so basically, nagigets na natin yung function ng ating reproductive kasi on our previous discussion, no, from Bio 1 pa lang, no, in terms of gametogenesis, yun na yung process na pinagdadaanan, di ba, in order for the reproductive organ to produce both the gametes and the sex hormones. Okay? Okay, now, this morning, no, we will be discussing the anatomy and physiology of both the male and the female reproductive organ. So we will start with the male reproductive system. So we'll start with your testes. Now, testes or testes is the main reproductive organ. Now, let me be clear with that. No, pag sinabi nating reproductive organ, testes po ito. Marami kasing nagkakamali or maraming nako-confuse na pag sinabing reproductive organ, ang sinasagot nila, penis or vagina. No? Penis and vagina is not your reproductive organ. They are your copulatory organ. No, intended for copulation. Okay, or sexual intercourse. No, pero pag reproductive organ, testis sa lalaki, ovary sa babae. Okay? At dito sa testis, napoproduce ang ating sperm. Diba? Kasi dito nagkakaroon ng spermatogenesis. Specifically, doon sa mga maliliit na tube sa loob ng testis na tinatawag nating seminiferous tubules. Sa seminiferous tubules, nangyayari yung spermatogenesis kung saan, di ba, the production of sperm cell wherein the germ cells are converted or specializes into sperm cell. Another thing, sa testis din natin makikita yung interstitial cell na binanggit natin kanina na siyang nagpo-produce ng male hormone na si testosterone. And the interstitial cell is being stimulated by the interstitial cell stimulating hormone. Okay, that is why testis is considered as the main reproductive organ. Okay? Then, sa ibabaw ng testis, makikita nating nakapatong yung tinatawag nating epididymis. Kaya dito sa epididymis, temporarily nasusstore yung sperm in order for the sperm to grow and mature. So the maturation of the sperm will occur on the epididymis. And sabi ko nga, temporary storage lang kasi once na mag-ejaculate ang isang lalaki, doon pa lang mag-exit yung sperm sa epididymis. Okay, tandaan, no? Yung pinoproduce lang ng testis and ng epididymis ay sperm at konting liquid, hindi po semilya. Marami kasi ring nalilito na pag sinabing semilya, iniisip, pag sinabing sperm, No, yun yung naisip nilang similya. Sperm is just a part of the whole semen, yung likido na inilalabas ng lalaki during ejaculation. So don't be confused with that. Okay? Then, after epididymis, no, pupunta tayo sa vas deferens o tinatawag din nating seminal ducts or ductus deferens. Okay? But vas deferens is the passageway of sperm going to the ejaculatory duct. Okay? Kasi yung vas deferens, yan dumadaloy, no, yung sperm na nakaimbak pa ng dalian sa ating epididymis no, prior to ejaculation. Para yung sperm na nandun sa epididymis hahalo sa iba pang fluid na ilalabas ng ibang mga accessory organ ng male repro no, para mabuo yung semilya ng lalaki. Okay? And meron tayong tinatawag na vasectomy, no, process na vasectomy. No, vasectomy is the sterilization process for males. Okay? Ito yung kung paano nagiging sterile no, ang isang lalaki. Di ba sa babae, meron tayong tinatawag, or mas common kasi sa babae yung sterilization process which is the tubal ligation, yung pagpapaligate. No, ito yung counterpart sa lalaki. No? At yung vas deferens ang kinakat, no, pinuputol at tinatali para maging sterile ang isang lalaki o hindi na siya makabuntis. Okay? Bakit hindi siya makakabuntis? No? Kasi if we're going to look at this picture, no, sa vasectomy, no, hinahanap natin yung spermatic cord kasi nandoon sa loob niya yung vas deferens para makat and matay katulad nung nakikita nyo na to sa picture na ito. No? So, pag pinutol po ba at tinali ang vas deferens, wala nang lalabas sa lalaki? Ang sagot ay meron pa rin po. Kasi tandaan, di ba ang nagfo-flow lang naman sa vas deferens is the sperm coming from the epididymis and a small amount of fluid. But the other remaining fluid no, are being produced by the other accessory glands no, in the male reproductive na hindi naman dumadaan sa ductus deferens. So pag pinutol yung vas deferens, ang mawawala lang is yung sperm. Pero meron pa ring lalabas na fluid no, sa male reproductive during ejaculation. Pero hindi na yun nakakabuntis. So kahit mag-ejaculate pa yung lalaki sa loob ng female reproductive organ, no, kahit dun siya mag-release, hindi niya mabubuntis yung babae kasi wala ng sperm na kasama yung inilalabas niyang fluid. Okay? Seminal fluid. Okay? Then we have your ejaculatory duct. No, ito yung ito pala yung testis kanina, ito yung epididymis, tas itong mahabang ito is yung vas deferens. Then meron tayong dalawang vas deferens kasi dalawa din yung testis natin. So each testis has its own vas deferens. Then yung vas deferens na yon ay mag-unite, no, magkikita at magsasama to form the ejaculatory duct. At dito sa ejaculatory duct, meron nakakabit yung iba't ibang mga accessory gland katulad ng seminal vesicle, prostate gland, bulbourethral gland para tanggapin yung mga fluid na manggagaling sa mga glands na yon para mabuo yung mismong seminal fluid or semen. Okay? Then from the ejaculatory duct, no, we have your urethra. Urethra that acts as the passageway for both urine and semen. Yung pinag-usapan natin sa urinary system na ang urethra ng lalaki ay daanan parehas ng ihi at saka ng semilya ng lalaki kasi nakakonect sa urethra ang urinary bladder pati na rin ang ejaculatory duct as the passageway again for both the urine and semen. Then the exit point is the urinary meatus which is yung butas sa dulo ng ari ng mga lalaki. Okay? Okay. Now let us proceed with the accessory glands. No, still part of the male reproductive system or organ. We have the seminal vesicle. Now, the seminal vesicle produces a nutrient-rich fluid which constitutes 60% of the semen. So, 60% ng semilya natin ay nanggaling sa seminal vesicle. At ang pinoproduce na fluid ng seminal vesicle ay merong fructose which is the sugar, no, and prostaglandin, no, at ang trabaho ng prostaglandin ay panipisin yung mucus, no, na meron sa uterus at saka sa cervix para mabilis makalangoy at hindi mahirapan yung mga sperm na makalangoy papunta sa fallopian tube kasi doon naghihintay yung egg cell na ma-fertilize. So, in order for the sperm to freely move or easily move inside the female reproductive tract, no, pinapanipis ng prostaglandin yung mucus na meron dito. Aside from that, no, the seminal vesicle no, produces a fluid that contains coagulant no, in order to deliver the semen into the female reproductive organ. Okay. Next, we have the prostate gland. It is a walnut-sized gland no, that is connected to the urethra. No, and the prostate gland secretes an alkaline substance. No, kaya ang mga lalaki, di ba ginagawang biro ng amoy Sonrox daw yung semilya kasi di ba ang Sonrox alkaline, it is sodium hypochlorite. So dahil alkaline din yung fluid rather na napoproduce ng prostate gland na sumasama sa semilya, nasa tuloy nila na kasing amoy yun. But it's a joke, but actually it's because it's alkaline. No? And the alkaline substance that is produced by the prostate gland is to increase no, the motility of the sperm or para maging maliksi yung sperm at hindi sila madaling mamatay, and of course para mabilis silang maka-swim no, inside the female reproductive tract para makarating sila, magpaunahan sila papunta ng fallopian tube. Okay? And yung fluid no, na sinesecrete ng prostate gland also contains enzyme that will liquefy the semen no, once it is ejaculated. No, kaya nga lumalabnaw ang semilya pagka-ejaculate para makawala ng mabilis yung sperm na meron yung semilya. Okay? Aside from that, the alkaline substance of the semen is for to somehow neutralize no, the acidity of the vagina because the nature of the vagina is acidic. So kung hindi alkaline ang semilya, madaling mamamatay yung sperm. No, but since no, the semen is alkaline because of the alkaline substance that is being produced by the prostate gland, it neutralizes or equalizes the pH level no, inside the vagina in order for the sperm to not die. Okay. Next, we have the bulbourethral or the Cowper's gland. No, it is a small P-shaped gland, no, which leads to the urethra as well. Now, it also secretes an alkaline fluid that would lubricate the urethra prior to ejaculation. That's why during a sexual intercourse, no, hindi pa rin ligtas no, wala kayong contraceptive no, if you are doing intercourse kasi we have what we call yung pre-cum na tinatawag, yung nauunang likidong lumabas bago mag-ejaculate yung lalaki. Kasi sometimes no, it already contains a small amount of sperm and that sperm can, malay mo, maliksi yun, malakas, no, yun pala yung mag-fertilize ng egg. No, kaya it is not necessarily safe no, to say na pwede kayong mag-withdrawal method, yung mga ganyan, kasi hindi pa rin sure 100%. No? And no, prior to the release of the semen, no, the alkaline fluid that is being produced by the bulbourethral gland will lubricate the urethra no, prior to ejaculation. Okay, then on the external genitalia, yung sa labas na, kasi yung kanina, yung part sa loob, no? First one is the scrotum. Ito po yung balat no, ng itlog ng mga lalaki. No? And dalawang pouch ito dahil dalawang itlog yung nakalagay dito. No? So it allows the sperm to develop no, 2 to 3 degrees below body temperature. Kaya ang scrotum no, sensitive siya sa temperature. And yung scrotum ng mga lalaki ay merong dartos muscle. At itong dartos muscle ang nagpapalapit o nagpapalayo ng itlog sa katawan ng lalaki depende sa temperatura. Kaya pag mainit, nakalawlaw ang itlog ng mga lalaki kasi inilalayo niya yung testis no, sa katawan kasi masyadong mainit yung body temp. Pero pag malamig, nakaangat yung itlog ng lalaki to maintain no, the temperature no, of the testes no, in terms of body temperature. Kaya normal na pag malamig, kumukulubot yung balat ng itlog ng mga lalaki. Tapos pag pag mainit, nakalawlaw. Kasi meron yung dartos muscle. Okay? Okay, next we have the penis. No, like what I've mentioned earlier, penis is not the reproductive organ, but instead the copulatory organ intended for copulation. Copulation means sexual intercourse. Okay, wait lang. Type ko yung copulation, baka ano yung spelling eh. Ayan, nasa chat box. Okay, our penis is composed of three cylindrical erectile tissue such as the corpus cavernosum, corpus spongiosum, and the spongy urethra. Sabi natin, cylindrical. Okay, so our the erectile tissue of the penis is a vascular space, meaning it can contain fluid, no, it can be filled with fluid, specifically the blood, no, and when blood fills your erectile tissue, it causes for the penis to erect. Okay, so kaya nag-erect ang penis because of the blood gushing towards the cylindrical erectile tissue, no, na meron ng ating penis. Okay, now earlier, no, we have mentioned the semen, no, being produced by the male reproductive organ coming from the different glands, accessory glands, as well as the sperm cell coming from the testes. No, now the semen, no, is a mixture of sperm and the secretions coming from the gland. No, paulit ko na nababanggit. No, and it is a transport medium, no, that gives nutrients, no, to protect and activate the sperm. Okay, the semen, no, is constituted by 60% coming from the seminal vesicle, yung nutrient-rich fluid na mayroong prostaglandins. Okay, then 30% coming from the prostate gland, okay, na mayroong alkaline substance. Then 5% from the bulbourethral gland, also alkaline substance. And 5%, which is from the testes, kasama na doon yung sperm, no, which gives you 100%. Eh, kaya binanggit ko kanina, kahit magkaroon ng vasectomy sa lalaki, meron pa rin ilalabas na seminal fluid yung lalaki. Yun nga lang, wala nang kasamang sperm. So it is safe kahit na mag-ejaculate pa yung lalaki sa loob ng female reproductive tract ng paulit-ulit. Hindi niya na mabubuntis yung female kasi wala nang sperm yung inilalabas niyang fluid. Okay? Then, yung sa testicles ng lalaki o yung sa itlog ng mga lalaki, di ba, again, it is only sperm and a small amount of fluid. The sperm being produced in the seminiferous tubules where the sperm matures and grows, no, into the epididymis, no, above the testes. Okay? And roughly, a male can ejaculate 1.5 to 5 ml of semen. And for every 1 ml of semen, no, it can contain 20 to 100 million sperm. So, kung 5 ml, roughly nasa 100-500 million sperm ang pwedeng ma-release ng isang lalaki. So, ganun karaming sperm ang nag-aagawan na nagpapaunahan na ma-fertilize yung egg ng babae. Okay? Then the sperm has a span of 72 hours or 3 days, no, once it is inside the female reproductive organ. Ibig sabihin, pag nag-ejaculate yung lalaki sa loob, 3 araw pang pwedeng mabuhay yung sperm sa loob ng ari ng babae. Kaya pag yan nasaktuhan na hindi man fertile ang babae ngayon, tapos kinabukasan bigla siyang nagkaroon ng tapos na fertile, hindi pa rin 100% ligtas. Kaya binabanggit ko kanina, no, yung mga yung withdrawal method is not safe. Okay? Kahit nga yung yung calendar method, kasi pag nagkamali ka ng bilang sa calendar tapos nagkaroon ng intercourse, nag-ejaculate yung lalaki sa loob, tapos yan, may kakayanang mabuhay ang sperm ng 3 araw, pwede siyang mabuntis. Okay? May possibility. Kasi kaya yun yung mga method na hindi sinasuggest no na gawin kasi hindi ligtas. Okay, then let us proceed with the path of the sperm, no? Like what we have discussed, no, the sperm is produced, no, through spermatogenesis in the seminiferous tubules of the testes. Then once it is produced, no, it proceeds to the epididymis where it will grow and mature. Now then once the male ejaculates, no, the sperm will exit the epididymis and will flow through the vas deferens, no, to the seminal ducts, no, kung saan makaka-receive siya ng fluid or secretion coming from the seminal vesicle, prostate gland, and bulbourethral gland para mabuo yung semilla. No, then, pag kumpleto na sila, syempre mag-exit sila sa katawan natin through the urethra and then the urinary meatus, which is yung parang pinaka exit point, no, ng male reproductive tract. Okay? Now, let us proceed with females. But before I continue, can I get a thumbs up kung nakasunod tayo sa male reproductive organ? Okay. If you have some questions, don't hesitate to raise your hand so I can answer your questions. Okay, now let us proceed with the female reproductive tract. Now, the first one is your ovaries. This is the counterpart of the testis in males. Now, as I've mentioned, this is the reproductive organ for females. Okay? It is almond in shape and it is suspended by the mesovarium. Now, it contains the Graafian follicle whereas the Graafian follicle, di ba nandoon yung ovum, di ba, na inre-release during ovulation. At pinag-usapan natin on our previous lesson that the follicle-stimulating hormone stimulates the growth of the Graafian follicle, and the luteinizing hormone completes the maturation of the Graafian follicle in order for it to expel or to release the ovum or egg cell inside it during ovulation. Every month naman, na you are normal, you don't have any hormonal problem, no? Normal, then every month na nag-ovulate. Pero pag may mga hormonal problem o kaya mga PCOS, ganyan, no, yun, hindi regular menstruation, kaya hindi rin regular yung pag-ovulate ng babae. Pero on a normal process, dapat every month, okay, lalabas ng egg cell ang babae. Okay? So, this is the ovary, no, yung brown na to, itong kulay brown, yan yung ovary. No, and once na mag-expel ang ovaries ng egg cell, no, yung egg cell ay pupunta ng fallopian tube. No, yung fallopian tube ay tinatawag din nating uterine tube or oviduct. Now, since we have two ovaries, dalawa din yung uterine tube natin, both sides, and si uterine tube ang kumukuha ng egg cell, and dito panangdaliang nag-i-stay, no, tumatambay yung egg cell, no, kasi naghihintay siya dyan ng sperm na magfa-fertilize sa kanya. Kaya ang fallopian tube yung nagiging site of fertilization kasi doon nangyayari yung fertilization process. Okay? Kaya nakukuha, hindi magkadikit ang ovaries at fallopian tube. Pero bakit nakakarating ng fallopian tube yung egg cell? Kasi di ba una, ang egg cell ay merong mga cilia. Di ba? Kaya nga kaya niyang gumalaw somehow, wave-like movement yung ciliary action. Okay, aside from that, yung fallopian tube rather, ay merong fimbriae. Now, yung fimbriae, yun yung fringe-like structure, parang kamay, no, parang mga daliri, na siyang kumukuha ng egg cell or ovum na inire-release ni ovary para makapasok sa uterine tube or fallopian tube yung egg cell. And again, doon siya maghihintay na ma-fertilize ng isang sperm cell. Kaya site of fertilization ang fallopian tube. Kung sa lalaki kanina, vasectomy ang tawag natin sa sterilization process kung saan pinuputol at tinatali ang vas deferens. Sa babae naman, ang tawag natin ay, kulang, dapat yan kompleto, bilateral tubal ligation. Okay, wait lang. Edit na natin para hindi na kayo magkamali. Kaya ang tawag natin sa process ay bilateral tubal ligation. No? Kasi parehas dapat ng fallopian tube natin ay ilaligate. No? Hindi pwedeng isa lang. Kasi pag isa lang, may possibility pa rin mabuntis kasi open pa rin yung isang fallopian tube. No? Kaya ang gagawin, no, para ma-sterilize ang babae, puputulin yung parehas na fallopian tube at itatali para hindi ulit makapunta yung egg cell ng fallopian tube Para kahit mag-release yung lalaki sa loob ng babae, walang egg cell na ma-fertilize kasi wala namang egg cell sa fallopian tube dahil nga pinutol na natin at itinali. Okay? Then, meron tayong tinatawag na ectopic pregnancy. Supposedly kasi, ang normal process, pag na-fertilize ang egg cell ng sperm, bababa yung zygote na tinatawag natin o yung fertilized egg sa ating uterus at doon dapat siya sa uterus ma-implant at doon siya sa uterus mag-grow into a fetus and then later on into a baby. Okay? So, once na hindi ma-implant yung zygote sa uterus, ang tawag natin doon, ectopic pregnancy. No, common na ectopic pregnancy is sa uterine tube mismo. No, hindi siya bumababa ng uterus, nagsistay lang siya sa fallopian tube. Okay, pag ganun, pag ectopic pregnancy, na tina-terminate karaniwan. Pag ectopic pregnancy, kasi it is not safe for females to have an ectopic pregnancy. Kaya mostly terminated pag ectopic pregnancy. Okay? So this is what happens to tubal ligation. No, we cut and then we tie the uterine tube in order again for the egg cell to not cross the uterine tube para walang ma-fertilize na egg cell. No, isa lang yung pinakikita dito pero sa totoong buhay bilateral, parehas yan. Ika-cut. All right. After our fallopian tube, we now have your uterus. Okay, so si uterus po is a pear-shaped organ, no? Kasing laki daw siya ng kamao, no, natin. No? And makikita ito sa pelvic cavity sa pagitan ng bladder and rectum. No, meron itong iba't ibang function katulad ng number 1, menstruation. Kasi po, ang uterus ay nahahati sa tatlong bahagi na tinatawag nating perimetrium, myometrium, and endometrium. At kada buwan, yung endometrium, which is the innermost layer rather, no, ay kumakapal kada buwan. At kada buwan din, no, ito ay yung kumapal na endometrium ay natatanggal, no, during menstrual cycle or menstruation, no. Kaya related ang uterus for menstruation. Pangalawa, pregnancy. Kasi katulad ng binanggit ko kanina, once na ma-fertilize ang egg, dapat ito ay bumababa sa ating uterus kasi doon sa uterus, mag-i-implant ang zygote. And pangatlo, labor. Kasi nagkakaroon tayo ng strong uterine contraction during labor for childbirth para mailabas at bumaba yung baby. Okay? Then, sa dulong bahagi ng uterus, meron tayong tinatawag na cervix. Ito yung makipot na daan no, palabas ng vagina. Okay? Galing sa loob, galing sa loob palabas. Okay? Asa na? Alright. So, this is the uterus. No? Ito yung fallopian tube, yung dalawang sa gilid. Ito yung uterus. Nahahati sa tatlong bahagi. Yung pinakaibabaw yung fundus, gitna yung body, then yung cervix, yung pinakadulong bahagi kung saan may ito yung makipot na daanan palabas ng vagina na papunta dito. And again, the uterus is divided into 3 layers. Okay? We have your perimetrium or the serous layer, which is the outermost layer. The myometrium, which is the middle layer, that is composed of smooth muscle, no, which is involuntary. Then we have the endometrium, the innermost layer, and during every month again, the endometrium thickens, and once it is thick, during menstruation, nagsaslap off, natatanggal. Kaya kung mapapansin nyo, pag nagkakaroon ng menstruation ng mga babae, meron minsan parang buo-buo. No? Kasi yun yung mga natatanggal na endometrium sa babae. Kaya masakit pag nagkakaroon ng menstruation. Nagkakaroon tayo ng dysmenorrhea na tinatawag. No? Lalo na pag unang araw kasi na imaginein mo sarili mong laman ay natatanggal. No, kaya ako pag unang araw ng menstruation ko talagang masakit, nagdi-dysmenorrhea. Napansin nyo, minsan masungit ako. Yan. Di ba? Puro kayo haha. Pagkalokohan, haha kayo, no? Yan. Sige. Okay. Kidding aside, okay. Speaking of menstrual cycle or menstruation, ano nga po ba ito? No, so this is a change, this is a series of changes that occurs in a sexually mature, non-pregnant females. Okay? And ang unang regla po natin ay tinatawag nating menarche. No, kaya kayo, siguro ang menarche nyo mga 12 years old, 13 years old, di ba merong menarche na maaga, merong menarche na late. Ako kasi 13 ako unang nagkaroon eh. No, yung menarche ko 13 years old. Okay? Sige. Kidding aside, no, pero yun po yung tawag natin sa first onset of menstruation, yung pinakaunang regla. Okay? And then we have your menses. No, menses po is yung panahon kung saan yung endometrium na kumapal ay natatanggal na sa uterus. And kung normal ang ating menstrual cycle, average ng 28 days yung ating cycle. Kaya every 28 days nagkakaroon ng menstruation. Pero kung meron kayong mga hormonal problems, katulad ng PCOS, ganyan, o kaya mga sakit katulad ng PCOS, usually irregular yung menses. Kaya dapat nagpapacheck kayo sa OB, no, para mabigyan kayo ng gamot at maitama, no, yung hormonal imbalance and magkaroon din kayo ng regular menstruation. Okay? All right. And then we have your vagina. Okay, so vagina is a collapsible muscular membranous tube, no, na makikita sa pagitan ng rectum and urethra, no, kung saan meron itong exterior na pinoprotektahan ng tinatawag nating hymen. No, hymen is a mucous membrane. At itong hymen na ito ang napupunit, no, pwedeng mapunit to different situations. Like for example, number 1, sexual intercourse. Kaya dinudugo ang babae sa unang beses na ito ay makipag-sexual intercourse kasi yung mucous membrane na nakaharang sa vagina ay napupunit. Kaya nga diba, sa mga kaso ng rape, pag nagva-vaginal exam, maririnig nyo sinasabi ng police, merong laceration sa hymen ng ganitong oklak, ganitong degrees kasi sa hymen yun. Or possibly, no, na pwede ring mapunit yung hymen pag kayo ay new member ng sex bomb na walang ginawa kundi mag-split ng mag-split. Ayan, yung pagsa-split, nakakapunit ng hymen. Pati yung pagbabike, nakakapunit din yun ng hymen. No, maraming activities. Hindi lang naman sexual intercourse. Okay? Then, there are also a lot of function, no, ng ating vagina. Una, si vagina ang tumatanggap ng similya na ine-ejaculate ng lalaki kasi diyan po sa vagina nagpe-penetrate ang penis during intercourse. Pangalawa, nagiging duct o labasan, una, ng uterine secretion ng vagina. Pangalawa, pati yung menstrual flow na manggagaling lahat sa uterus. No, palabas yan ng vaginal canal, no, palabas ng ari ng babae. And of course, the vagina is the lower part of the birth canal. Kasi di ba sa uterus nag-i-implant yung zygote, doon lalaki yung fetus hanggang maging baby ito. Until the time na magkakaroon na tayo ng normal spontaneous vaginal delivery, okay? Yung vagina, ang lower part ng birth canal. Okay? At ginugupit ang vagina pag nanganganak ang babae. Okay? Ine-episiotomy kung tawagin. Okay? So this is the vagina. Now, this is where the penis penetrates during sexual intercourse. Then dito rin dumadaan yung mga secretion coming from the uterus like the menstrual flow pababa and also the baby during childbirth kasi lower part ng birth canal as we've mentioned. Kasi dito manggagaling si baby palabas palabas ng katawan ng babae through the vagina. Okay? All right. Now we proceed with the external genitalia, yung labas naman. Kanina kasi, tawag dito. Wait lang po, excuse me. Alright, so again, no, let's now move on to external genitalia kasi kanina internal genitalia, yung mga parte sa loob ng female reproductive tract. Ngayon naman, yung sa labas. So vulva po, yung tawag natin, yung pangkabuuang tawag natin sa makikita sa external genitalia. Na at ito ay gawa sa iba't ibang bahagi. Una na dyan, yung mons veneris o yung tinatawag nating mons pubis. Ito po yung fat no, sa itaas ng symphysis pubis kung saan nag-grow yung pubic hair. Okay? Then, meron tayong tinatawag na labia majora and labia minora. Yung labia majora, ito po yung hairy skin-covered lips. Ito po yung parang pinaka-pisngi ng female reproductive tract sa labas kung saan nag-grow din ang pubic hair. Ito yung equivalent ng scrotum sa lalaki. Then, meron tayong labia minora, yung yung manipis, no, na fold ng skin sa loob ng majora, which is, pag tinignan natin sa female reproductive tract, ito po. Ayan. So, this is the mons pubis or mons veneris. Then, this is the labia majora, both sides. And itong manipis na ito, yan po ang ating labia minora. Okay? Then, we have the clitoris. It is an erectile tissue no, below the junction of two minora. Kasi yung minora natin ay magninit, no, magjo-join sa taas. Okay? Na clitoris. And clitoris is the parang sensual organ pagdating sa female reproductive tract, external, because it is sensitive. Okay? Yes, Chris, do you have a question?
Sir, di ba po pinapasukan din po ng catheter yung babae kapag ka nahihirapan po umihi? Saan po yun pinapasok? Sa clitoris po ba?
Alright, so ayan na, mapupunta tayo doon. No, tama naman. No, both the male and the female can be inserted with catheter in their reproductive organ. Sa lalaki, no, sa urinary meatus pinapasok. Mabalikan ko yung picture para magets nyo. Okay. Ay. Wait lang. Saan na ba yung lalaki? Penis, where are you? Ayan. So, di ba ito yung ito yung urinary meatus, yung butas doon sa ulo ng ari ng lalaki. So, doon ipapasok yung catheter hanggang makarating siya dyan. Okay, sa urinary bladder. No, sa babae naman, no, tamang-tama yung tanong mo kasi after ng after ng clitoris, pupunta na tayo sa tinatawag nating urinary meatus at saka vaginal orifice. So katulad nung diniscuss natin sa urinary system, dalawa ang butas na meron ng babae. Yung isa, yung urinary meatus at yung isa naman yung vaginal orifice. Yung urinary meatus, ito yung opening no, ng urethra sa ilalim ng clitoris. Parang yung urinary meatus din ng lalaki. Pero sa babae, ang urinary meatus ay exit point lang ng ihi, no, ng urine. Okay? Pero ang vaginal orifice, ito yung butas o yung opening ng vagina. At dito sa vaginal orifice, pumapasok yung penis during the sexual intercourse. Yan yung entrance papunta sa vagina. Diyan din lumalabas yung menses na nanggagaling sa uterus na dumadaan sa vagina at diyan din lumalabas yung baby during childbirth. So, if we're going to look at the external genitalia, this is the urinary meatus. Diyan lumalabas ang ihi ng mga babae, diyan din inilalagay ang catheter during catheterization process. Okay, because the clitoris is just an erectile tissue. Okay, tissue lang siya. Okay? Tapos ito yung vaginal orifice kung saan lumalabas again yung menses, lumalabas yung baby during childbirth at nagpe-penetrate ang penis during intercourse. No, pag nanganganak ang isang babae, ginugupit yan, ito hanggang dito, papunta dito, pa-L. No, para siyang pa-L. Hindi pwedeng diretso kasi baka dumiretso ng anus. Okay? Ang tawag natin doon, episiotomy. Ginugupit talaga siya para mag-make ng space para sa paglabas ng baby. Tapos tinatahi naman din siya. Episiotomy naman ang tawag natin doon. Okay? Next, we have your prepuce. Prepuce is yung nasa ibabaw ng clitoris kung saan nag-join force yung dalawang labia minora. Habang vestibule naman ang tawag natin doon sa space kung saan natin makikita ang vaginal at urethral orifice. So this is the prepuce above the clitoris. Then this is the vestibule kung nasaan ang urethral and vaginal orifice. Okay. Next, we have your accessory gland. Okay. We have your Skin's gland and your Bartholin's gland. Si Skin's gland, siya po ay dalawang gland, no, mucus gland sa magkabilang gilid ng urinary meatus at nagsasecrete ito ng mucus to lubricate, no, the urethra of the female reproductive organ. Then, yung Bartholin's gland naman, siya yung dalawang gland din sa pagilid, sa magkabilang gilid naman ng vaginal orifice na siyang naglulubricate naman ng vagina. Okay? Then we have your breast or your mammary gland. Siyempre, hindi na yan sa female repro. Ibang part na yan. Sa dibdib na yan ng babae. So, it's a lobulated gland, no, under the skin, no, na nasa ibabaw ng pectoralis major muscle natin. And ang main function ng mammary gland is for the secretion of milk. Okay, di ba we have the prolactin or the lactogenic hormone of lutotropin, which is the hormone that stimulates the breast to develop during pregnancy in order for the mammary gland to produce milk. And once the mother already delivers the baby, no, the prolactin as well as the oxytocin will initiate the secretion of the milk coming from the mammary gland. Okay? Okay, so nandito yung Skin's gland, magkabilang gilid. Nandito naman ang Bartholin's gland. Okay? So, those are the different parts of the female reproductive tract. Okay? Can I get the thumbs up kung nakasunod tayo doon? Alright, sige. So, as you've noticed, no, lahat ng organ system, sinasamahan natin ng mga sample diseases. So, these are sample diseases na pwedeng mangyari, no, pag pinabayaan ang reproductive health. Number 1, genital warts na dulot ng human papilloma virus or the HPV. No? Ang genital warts ay pwedeng makuha to skin contact. No? Pag dumikit yung ari ng isang lalaki sa babae, tapos meron silang HPV, yung isa ay merong HPV, pwedeng malipat, mahawa yung kapartner at pwedeng magkaroon ng genital warts. Okay lang sana kung genital warts, pero yung iba kasi, no, na type ng HPV ay pwedeng mag-lead sa cervical or anal cancer. Although, ang mga babae, di ba may nabibigay na vaccine against HPV to for them to be protected. Okay? At pag nagkaroon ka ng genital warts, ganyan yung tutubo sa'yo. No? Next, you have your crabs o yung pubic lice. Hindi lang sa ulo nagkakaroon ng kuto. Kahit sa are, pwedeng magkaroon ng kuto. Ang tawag natin doon crabs. Okay? Yung pubic lice. Sila yung mga tiny parasite na naninirahan sa pubic lice, sa pubic hair rather, no, at pwede rin itong makuha, no, from skin to skin contact. Okay? Although meron naman mga available na mga lotions, no, or mga gamot na pwedeng gamitin para mapatay yung pubic lice. Siyempre nakakaroon yan pag sobrang hindi malinis, sobrang baboy sa reproductive health. Okay, yung itsura nung crab o nung pubic lice under the microscope. Okay, then we have different sexually transmitted infections or yung mga STD na tinatawag. We have your gonorrhea, which is caused by the bacteria Neisseria gonorrhea. So, ito pong gonorrhea ito yung tulo na tinatawag. Kasi, pag nagkaroon ka ng gonorrhea, merong lalabas na parang nana sa ari. Okay? Nasa ari nyo. Okay? At ang gonorrhea ay napapasa through unprotected oral, anal, or vaginal sex. So this is what it looks like. Pwedeng may lumabas sa ari na parang mga nana. No? Tas pag oral, ayan, magkakaroon kayo ng parang mga nana din sa lalamunan ninyo. Okay? Another STI is the syphilis. No? Ito ay highly contagious or madaling makahawa, no? Ito ay nakukuha through same unprotected oral and anal or vaginal sex, no? And ito po ay dinudulot ng bakterya na tinatawag nating Treponema pallidus. Okay? So, ang mangyayari sa iyo niyan, para ka magkakaroon ng mga bulutong sa ari mo. Ganyan ang itsura. Pero both the gonorrhea and the syphilis or yung mga STDs natin, they can all be treated by antibiotics. No, nakukuha yan through polygamous sexual partner. Yung paiba-iba, tas unprotected yung sex. Tapos hindi mo naman kilala kung may nakasex na ding iba yung partner mo. Nako, yan. And syempre, ang pinaka-worst na napag-usapan na natin ng lymphatic is yung HIV o yung mas pinalalang version na AIDS. Di ba nabanggit ko nga sa inyo doon? Pwede itong mahawa through body fluids like blood, no, vaginal secretion, seminal fluid, ganyan. No, kaya pag yung needle na ginamit sa HIV patient or ay ginamit din sa iyo, yan, pwede ka mahawa. Pag sinalinan ka ng dugo na galing sa HIV patient, automatic. Yung babae na may HIV tas nagbuntis, automatic yung anak niyo rin meron. Nag-anal sex kayo, walang protection, tas yung partner mo pala, merong HIV, doon siya nag-ejaculate sa loob ng anus, mahahawa ka din noon, possible. So maraming bagay. Kaya in short, no, kailangan pag hindi napigilan, protection. Pero kung pwedeng pigilan, very good. Abstinence is the key. No, magtigil, di ba? Sa lust na nararamdaman. Okay? All right. So that will conclude our discussion for today on reproductive system. Okay. Any questions or clarifications? Wala? Sige. If none, I will just check the attendance, then magbilin lang ako.